Gervonta Davis say you need the money.
When people, what I got from that is he's a hater. If you don't know me as a person, let's say you don't like me, like you don't know me, like you feel me, and I don't give a fuck. If everybody including Will, I mean Will.
Question for you. You're a proud father.
There are many levels in this fighting game, and Terence Bud Crawford told everyone what was going on in his life in a recent live chat. Crawford didn't just poke fun at Gervonta in a sly way. Tank Davis threw the whole tree. What was supposed to be a short meeting turned into a full-on fight, with Crawford telling Tank about his recent performances, reputation, and even whether or not his most recent win was real.
Tank said I was a meat lover. He came in, he was like, oh, this guy, you a meat lover.
But Tank would never even think about hesitating to come up to 154.
All right, what about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. If Tank get to pick his opponent, he would do it. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Y'all was doing the back and forth shit. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens? Or
man, I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like I really don't like him. I don't like.
Just not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
I don't like nothing about him. No, I don't like nothing about him. I just felt like he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. Like he got a lot of security guards around him, and he know, he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
I respect him as a fighter.
Yeah.
He definitely got skills. He got power. He got tremendous boxing ability, but like his core personality and his ways,
This is more than simply fighting words. It's a message. Crawford made it clear that he can see and hear the no's, but doesn't believe it. Tank has been staying away from a lot of smoke, and Crawford has lit the lightweight class on fire. If you thought that these two were no longer angry with each other, you were wrong. Let's examine this out since Crawford's words, implications, and delivery shocked the room.
You said going out on 3 fights. You know the last 2 fights you want to go out on? Yeah, the last fight you want to go out on. Like, who? Do you have anybody in mind? No, I'm saying no. I don't have my name right now. But I got somebody I want to call out after this fight. You said you got somebody you want to call out after this fight? Yeah. Who is that? I'm not gonna tell you.
Is it Lomachenko?
Somebody asked Lomachenko. All right. Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready. What you think about that?
Oh,
Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready.
I need 3 now.
Yeah.
Steven Espinoza said Shakur turned down a 1-fight deal to fight you because he wanted a multi-fight deal. What's your thoughts on that?
He's not worth it. He's not worth no multi-fight deal. He's not even worth it. Cam gotta fight somewhere else and prove himself, and then you feel me? You know how they got UFC and like the underground shit? You gotta fight on the underground shit and get back.
You gotta go to the G League.
You have an idea?
The first surprise came when the host brought up Tank's earlier claim that Crawford needs the money. Crawford's face twisted as if to say, "What?" Then he told her the truth. "We all need money. I am not doing this for free." See, it wasn't all about money. Crawford was pointing out the inconsistency because, in terms of dollars, Tank is also not on Forbes' billionaire list. Both of them are prize fighters fighting for legacy and a paycheck, so why was Tank acting as if he was above it all? But the shade did not end there. When the journalist asked Crawford how he felt about Tank going up to 154 to fight him, Crawford didn't even blink. He just answered, "I wish him all the best." That was not support. It was a funeral speech translation. Crawford isn't chasing Tank. If Tank wants that smoke, he best level up quickly because, let's be honest, Tank at 154 is a totally different beast. And Crawford's reaction shows he doesn't take that scenario seriously.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that moving up 2 weight classes, and, daring to be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch it.
Wow. Man. Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147 for you.
Ooh, see, oh, man.
You're going to have a pre-camp.
Then what the people going to say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
I don't know.
The man is unbeaten for a reason. He knows his worth. And he isn't wasting his prime on fantasy matchups with guys who barely beat Lamont Roach. This is where things got hot. Crawford did more than just trash Tank's resume. He meticulously studied his most recent fight. When asked about the Roach fight, Crawford did not hold back. Tank took a knee, which should have counted as a knockdown, and wondered how it was allowed to happen. Furthermore, Crawford stated the unusual incident in which Tank's staff approached the apron mid-fight and wiped grease off his eyes. That's not just questionable, it's a total procedural violation, and Crawford made sure everyone watching knew it. Crawford made it clear, Tank would not have won without the knockdown. He gave the edge to Lamont Roach, which is not something you expect to hear from a fellow elite fighter, but it only shows how genuine Crawford is. He is not playing games or safeguarding clout. He is telling you the naked truth, according to him. Tank looked overconfident, he did not take Roach seriously, and his attitude nearly cost him the fight.
Judge at the ringside, Eric Marlinsky scores it on 115 to 113 in favor of Gervonta Davis. Judges Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both scores about 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
Everyone expected Gervonta Davis to waltz through Lamont Roach like it was just another paycheck, a highlight reel knockout, and another brilliant post-fight flex, but Lamont changed the script. He entered round 1 with pressure, accuracy, and no fear. The guy who was supposed to be an easy tune-out ended up giving Tank one of the roughest nights of his career. And let's not forget the 9th round, when Tank took a knee after a crisp right hand and body combo that had everyone on the edge of their seats. That was a tactical breakdown, not a slip or stumble, and it looked to be a clear takedown.
How is this not a knockdown? Tank Davis was just exposed, man. What is going on in the sport of boxing, man? KDB Sports and Entertainment.
I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing in there. I think I was taking control. I think I was landing more shots. I think I was landing more power shots. And I thought I was doing my thing. So I'm not really that frustrated about that.
And it wasn't only Terence Crawford who called it out. Boxing heavyweights Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya said the same thing on social media. That was a knockdown. No debate.
This is my opinion. Sure. It was a great fight. It was a close fight. Depending on what they do with that decision of taking the knee, depending if the commission reverses the decision or if, I think a draw was meant to be. So I like the draw. No, if you take a knee, if you take a knee in the 90s or in 2000, you're taking a point off. That's the bottom line. You're taking a point off. I don't know what happened with the referee. Maybe he was a little starstruck. Maybe he was a little, because he loves Tank. He loves New York. He loves the big lights. The referee with the eyes, he's like, a point should be deducted if you take a knee. It's a fact. It's in the rule book, right? The fact that they didn't take it away, then that's where the controversy is, right? It's not, look, did Gervonta get hit? Was he dazed? Who knows? Only he knows. But what I saw, when you take a knee, that's an automatic point. That's just the rule. This is not basketball. This is not, this is not basketball where, wait, hold on, my ankle hurts. Hold on, let me take a timeout. You don't take timeouts in boxing. It just doesn't happen. Whether he had something in his eye or not, you have to fight. There's 3 minutes to fight. So if you take a knee, if you go to your corner, the rules are the rules. And I don't know what New York is gonna settle on, but the rules are the rules.
I haven't watched the full fight. One thing that's kind of baffling is that it wasn't a knockdown. Look, he wasn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. But if you take a knee in the fight and you touch down, whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, that he should be
The ref's decision to let that slide changed the energy of the fight, and it may have saved Tank's perfect record.
I think the hardest punch I ever faced. No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Okendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I lie to you not. He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie. He a hard hammer.
Here's the twist. Tank and Roach had known each other since their amateur days in the same DMV region, so there was history. Maybe Tank felt he had Roach figured out.
Gervonta Tank Davis just been released to the public. We know now, December 14th, Houston, Texas, he's going to be facing a very tough opponent in Lamont Roach. Can you tell us a little bit about the history between them two?
Oh man, they've been knowing each other from the amateurs, silver gloves, everything. They grew up actually together, Roach and him, back and forth battles and whatnot. It's gonna be a pretty interesting fight, you know what I'm saying? Because Roach he come to fight. And I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about, why Roach? Because he signed and took the fight, you know what I'm saying? And it's good for the community.
However, Crawford made it clear that amateurs and professionals hit differently. If Tank thinks he can count on his reputation, he's in for a harsh awakening.
He would never even think about to come up to 154.
What about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens, or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your...
I don't like nothing about him. I just feel like, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah,
but like his core personality and his ways.
Let's start with one of the most viral scenes from the interview. Crawford asked why none of the top big names are fighting each other. He mentioned names: Teofimo Lomachenko, Shocker, Tank Garcia, Haney, a dream superfight lineup that has fallen by the wayside. Called it what it is. Straight up. According to Crawford, if these men all retire unbeaten without fighting each other, it will be the worst stain on this age of boxing, because if you're at the top, you should be fighting the top. And he even confessed, "I'm not going to be the only one walking around with a loss." That's a mature reaction from someone who values competition over image. So if Tank is avoiding fights to protect his zero, Crawford is already ahead of him in both skill and thinking. When asked about Ryan against Tank and the rehydration clause, Crawford took a few subtle jabs implying a deeper cynicism. Crawford broke it down beautifully. He acknowledged that Tank was probably right, but the clause had a significant impact on Ryan's performance.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Fighters.
But then he hit us with a nuanced statement. Crawford stated that some competitors weigh 130 pounds and rehydrate all the way to 165. He didn't mention Tank by name, but we knew who he was talking about. Crawford is making a point here. Modern boxing has too many loopholes, too many ways to game the system, and Tank may be one of the poster boys for that problem. Beyond Tank, Crawford addressed a bigger issue. The entire division is jammed.
How you feel about that fight? Is it even possible to catch weight?
Nah, ain't no catch weight. You come up to 47.
Not even entertaining the catch weight.
No, I'm not.
He's a champ though too, undefeated.
What champ? Come on, man, tell me what belt. You know boxing. You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed. Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ. I'm gonna come up here with the big boys. All right, I'll welcome him.
There are so many excellent fighters, but so few real matchups. Everyone is acting tactically, playing the long game, but the onlookers are hungry. Crawford mentioned Saudi Arabia, large purses, and how money could finally get some of these fighters into the ring. He's willing to travel, to take risks, and to make history, but can Tank match that zeal?
If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break your fucking neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And I'm not talking about no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your neck.
Because the contrast between but asking for actual bouts and Tank sticking to exhibition height and social media drama and barely winning is obvious, Crawford finished the Tank talk with a powerful message: everyone knows each other. That may sound simple, but think about it.
Who have Shakur? What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him.
Who that?
The Keyshawn. Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
So what do you say to those who
I
might
keep
be
saying
afraid?
his name for?
So what do you say to those who might be saying that, you know, Tank is afraid of Shakur?
Afraid of what? Afraid of what? Us fighters, if we're afraid of somebody, it gotta be somebody hitting us and hurting us. Like, he don't have no offense. Everything is defense. Defense only winning basketball and football. That shit winning.
Crawford is pointing out that the top names Tank, Ryan, and Devin Shocker have all been in the same group since they were amateurs. They know how each other fights and what their weaknesses are. So why are they not fighting?
So they know each other so.
They all know each other so well. Shakur, Tank, Ryan, you know, Devin, they all know each other, you know.
So is it hard to fight somebody you know?
No, I'm just saying they all know each other. Mm-hmm. So they know, you know, how to fight each other, how to beat each other and things like that, because they didn't fought each other so many times.
What do you think about the Devin Haney and the Ryan Garcia fight?
Perhaps they know too much. Tank may be aware of who has his phone number, which is why he is taking measures. Crawford, on the other hand, is prepared to face anyone, at any time. This talk was more than just a shot at Gervonta Davis, it was a wake-up call to the entire sport. Crawford told us what true champions sound like. He is not ducking, dodging, or pretending to win through public relations. He wants the greatest, the harshest, and the most immediate effects.
Going up those weight classes to face him, you know, how do you convince fans that he can beat Canelo?
I ain't trying to convince y'all that he can beat Canelo. He's a good fighter. But, bro, I would say smaller fighters are always better than bigger fighters because, you know, they're smaller, they know how to move and things like that. But this guy is great at what he do. He got. And another thing, bro, I don't be wondering how these guys is. Then he get hurt against
Match him off. There you talk about Gamboa.
No, he got clipped by Gamboa, right? Right? The fuck is he's looking that strong over the past year. I mean, these years. He ain't been getting clipped or nothing. So now, That's that snack shit. I'm telling you. Alright, y'all laugh. I'm always
No detail. Open up.
telling you. And that guy that a part of it, he been caught before. He went to jail for it.
Talking about Victor Conti.
He went to jail, right?
Victor Conti.
Yeah. And he the owner of the snack shit, right? And he went to jail for it. Now it's like, you know, you see Earl, I don't want to throw him out of the bus, but you see Earl said some things like that, like about the people who do steroids, but
yeah.
He don't want to say those names, but come on, bro.
Tank, if you are listening, the heat is on. The entire world is watching, and Crawford has simply written your name in big red letters. You have been called out. If you're tired of the fluff fights and want Tank to finally face a real fighter like Crawford, hit the like button right now. Share your views in the comments. Crawford or Tank? Who will win if these two fight? And if you're new here, click the subscribe button and allow notifications because we're breaking down every jab, scandal, and headline in the wild world of boxing. I'll see you in the next one.